Lori, are we recording already? Yes.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. This is the village board meeting for the village of Willow Springs. Today is September 14th, 2023. The time is 7 p.m. and this meeting is called to order. Madam Clerk Charles, could you please call the roll?
Trustee R. Kennedy,
Here.
Micah,
Here.
Hash,
Here.
Moon,
Here.
Carr,
Here.
President Nettmeyer.
Present. And that completes the roll, and we have a quorum. Thank you. Can we all please rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, again, thank you everyone for being here. We will start with our first presentation. It is my honor and privilege tonight that we honor Corporal Edward McKinney on his retirement. We recognize his career and service. He served for 30 years, and at Willow Springs Police Department is over 6 years. Throughout his service, Corporal McKinney has shown professionalism, courage, and kindness. He was dedicated to upholding our laws and protecting our village. As such, he was recognized several times here in Willow Springs with commendations for his exemplary. Ed, on behalf of Willow Springs, we will miss you and we wish you all the best in your retirement. You are an outstanding example of the Willow Springs Police. Thank you for your service. So now, Chief McCarthy and I would like to present you with your retirement card and a Okay, next up we have presentation for Hazel Levine Professional Planning Services proposal. As a quick background, recall earlier this year, the board hired professional counsel to assist with matters related to the North Willow Springs Road Plan development. The zoning ordinance there is well established in 2007, and that given recent circumstances, we found in the community that interest to revisit and review that area temporary moratorium was approved by the board in June. By virtue of that moratorium, the village committed to conducting a study of the district and then provide a report and more recommendations based on that study. The assistance of a land consultant is needed to achieve that commitment, and our special counsel, attorney Bert Olson, who is founding partner of Olson, Murphy, Granger, and Grants here tonight to present more on this issue. Attorney Olson, here.
Board administrator. It really is an honor for me to come. I feel like I've come circle. I want to say a few more comments today than I originally had planned. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Hazel Levine, approved tonight. I'm going to go back to 2006, February 24th, 2006. And Alliance Township High School hired a company called Stop It Staubach, a world of real estate knowledge, to do an analysis for the high school of the 70 acres. Very interesting analysis. I won't bore you with all of it. I feel in order to lead up to where we're going, I have to use a couple of things from Lyons Township study from 2006. Conclusions of this executive summary state it is important that Lyons Township High School and the Village of Willow Springs reach agreement on a mixed-use plan for the subject property that protects the interest of the local residents, provides the village with a viable development, and which optimizes the value of the subject property for LTHS. They also found an intergovernmental agreement has been proposed, we did, and should be executed between the Village of Willow Springs and LTHS with a specific goal, find a proper solution for the future development of the subject property. 3, office and retail uses do make sense at the subject property. 4, portions of the property should be reserved for multifamily development, either townhouses and villas, as opposed to condominiums, or alternatively some type of senior housing. 5, some single-family homes and or parkland should be located along the west and south borders of the subject property to act as proper transitions to this new development from existing Willow Springs neighborhoods. This is a summary from the company hired by the high school as to what to do with that property. Share it with us. Subject property, again, I'm still quoting from the report itself. The subject property is zoned R1 single family residence district by the Village of Willow Springs. That was the zoning prior to 07. This is a broad form single family classification and the predominant zoning category within the village for single family residential use. Discussions, village officials, back in 5 or 6, suggest that there is consensus that the subject property must be rezoned from R1 some form of combination zoning, or better yet, a planned unit development designating appropriate mixed uses at the subject site. The R1 residence district has its permitted uses, single family detached dwelling per lot per feet. If the zoning is changed to a planned unit development, it is likely that provisions of the R3 residence district apply to deal with the construction townhouses or single-family dwellings as they are described in the code. The R3 residence district does permit a number of special uses to include planned unit developments, educational institutions, and a variety of public service facilities. The addition of a small amount of land slated for office use and some additional land slated for retail use, it does appear skeptical. Effective developer will have the ability to construct an economically sound and viable development at the subject. Analysis of the potential usage. The study provides that uses should be residential, single-family townhouses, condos, villas, senior housing, independent living, assisted care, skilled care, office, multi-story, single-story, condo office space, retail, destination-oriented community centers, service. Proposed site plans. Staubach, the company that LT hired to do the study, has 2 development scenarios to consider on behalf of Lyons Township High School. First is a plan generated from the research conducted by Staubach, presented as a plan prepared by Oak Rent Associates. Second is prepared by a prospective purchaser interested in presenting an offer to buy the property. So says. The unsolicited offer was extended by B3 Realty Company LLC, which offers among its scope of services land development expertise. The ideas generated by the plans provide guidance to the potential uses which should be part of the recommended compromise plan. Staubach suggests that the following mixed uses be introduced to the village of Willow Springs. 22 acres of single-family homes, containing approximately 61 units, 8 acres of townhomes, 15 acres of senior housing, 5 acres of land for office, 3 acres of land for retail use, offering a gross leasable area of approximately 30,000 square feet. It then did a value analysis, very interesting value analysis of what the property was worth under different scenarios. Found under the current R1 zoning, all residential, it was worth approximately $8.4 million. They found in the Tesca plan, which Tesca was another planning company which we hired back then to do an analysis, and they came up with a plan. Under the Tesca plan, the combination of senior housing, office, and retail, they came up with an approximate value of $15.3 million. And under the combined Oak Ridge plan for multi-use, as I just described, the value of the property they thought to be $21 million. Under the V3 housing plan, all housing, 13 to 15 million dollars. So they gave LT and then us what they thought to be the value of the property with those acceptable scenarios. Their conclusion, and again, I won't bore you with the whole conclusion. Stobbeck has completed its highest and best use analysis. I think you've heard that term recently, which involved an examination of a number of potential land uses for which the subject property could be made. We believe for the following reasons that sale of the property does make sense and recommend that LTHS consider the disposition of the subject property. LTHS and the Village of Willow Springs should enter into negotiations leading to a workable development plan for property which addresses the concerns of local residents, long-term plans of the Village of Willow Springs, and results in an optimal sale price for LT. This board, being the LT board, decides to not sell the property, then at the very least, the future board has a very clear understanding of the property's future development. A lot of foresight on behalf of Stobbeck. What did that lead to? Well, we had already started. Again, coming full circle, I was the village attorney at the time, and we had already started trying to develop a plan as far as that big parcel goes. And because we started to develop a plan, we held public hearings here in the village on November 2nd, 2005, December 7th, 2005, January 4th, 2006, February 8th, 2006, and April 5th, 2006. So we could get input from the residents and anybody else as to what they wanted to see on that property. As a result of the public hearings, as a result of the study done by LT, we passed ordinance number 31-0-2007 entitled the North Willow Springs Road Corridor Plan Development District. That ordinance, the purpose of the district is established to provide for the development of a compatible mixture of open space, commercial, single-family residential, and senior-oriented residential uses. The permitted uses, as again, I'm sorry if you already know this, but the permitted uses should be secondary schools, public and not-for-profit, and you may have permitted uses of retail and all other uses allowed for B1, single-family residential housing, senior residential housing. Those are the permitted uses. The prohibited uses specifically outlined in the ordinance: automotive fueling and or service station, automobile and truck laundries, used automobile dealerships, auto wrecking, animal kennels, mini warehouses, industrial and warehouse uses, wholesale establishments, and any other use the village board believes would be detrimental to the health, welfare, and safety of Willow Springs residents. This ordinance, this 26-page ordinance, was passed July 12th, 2007. And I should note, it was passed with much discussion, and it passed 4-2. It wasn't passed unanimously, because two of the trustees thought we should keep it R1. So, we worked 3 years for this ordinance. We took input from everybody, including Lancaster Township High School. Where does that bring us? It brings us to today. Because of the 2007 ordinance, we need to freshen it up a little bit. And in order to do that, you don't need legal help, you need a plan. The household would be firm is nationwide. Even though they're nationwide, they are currently doing a lot of work in Countryside. They've also done work in Indian Head Park, Hinsdale, Payless Park, Payless Sites, Oak Grove, Elmhurst, Naperville, Oak Park, Forest, over 100 communities in Illinois. They are lean machines, so to speak. We have a tremendous price to do this study, partly because of the comprehensive ordinance and the stop-up memorandum and the test award in 2005, 2006. So they don't have to reinvent the wheel. The property is property. What's around it hasn't changed that much. The ordinance being comprehensive, studies being comprehensive, they are only charging us $7,500 to come back, tell this board whether we should make changes in that comprehensive. And it's my suggestion that when they do come, after you approve that, hopefully you approve them, when they do come back, make recommendations, Madam Mayor, we have a town hall meeting to discuss it with the residents as to what this firm recommends. See if we should change the ordinance we have now, stick with it, or do something else. All right. Sorry, it was a little longer than I thought. I felt important to get this out.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that presentation and all of that information. I will ask members of the board, are there any questions? Coming up about the presentation?
How long does that, how long will it take them to do their investigation to see if the ordinance is still good or there's gonna be any changes?
I'll be back if this is approved tonight, mid-October. Because like I said, they have all this information already. They don't have to start from scratch. The land hasn't changed. The surroundings really hasn't changed. Here. So,
Give us an update on the property value as well.
yes. And also, they'll come and make a presentation to you.
So my understanding is they would conduct the study, have it turned around in roughly a month, a little bit more. Give a presentation to the board of their findings, and in that, we could also incorporate town hall meetings or questions that we could gauge from the community and get their input at that time as well.
Very much.
And the other stakeholders that might be interested. And as you mentioned, it's been very reasonable price point for this process. And I think, as you said, a lot of that has to do with the background work that has been done already.
And they did check with other companies. This isn't the only company. I went back to Tesca and some other planning companies, and either cost was prohibited because they want to start from scratch, which you know what to do. Tesca, I like a lot. We use them elsewhere, but they did the original study for us. So I felt it was good to get a different perspective. But it does work with you.
Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, that's good to hear about the process of other consultants that were engaged, or at least reached out to, I should say, and their feedback. And so based on all of that, any other questions from the board? Okay, we are going to take action on this presentation later on in our agenda. Right, Wilson, thank you again for that presentation. I am observing here that there are people who guests in the audience that may be here for this issue. We have public comment at the end of the meeting, but I do want to also make an opportunity for public comment. If anybody is wishing to speak on this matter. You don't have to be signed up, I would just ask that you come to the podium, state your name and reserve it for the 3 minutes of the clerk. Anybody wishing to speak on this? Mr. Whiting, please come forward, state your name.
My name is Fred Whiting.
Thank you.
I don't have a lot to say, but I know that right state and right water, there's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of opportunities for pot.
Is anybody else wishing to speak on this matter? Okay, then, as I said, we will revisit this later on the agenda. For now, I will move to the position of previous minutes for this on the agenda item. We have our board of staff minutes from August 17, 2023, the board of staff. May I have a motion?
So move.
By trustee Kennedy, second. By trustee Pash, discussion on the minutes. Roll call, vote, please.
Trustee Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Ash,
Aye.
Moon, Car.
All ayes, motion carries and those minutes are approved. Village administrator report, administrator Bruce.
Thank you, Mayor. I only have a couple things to report on. As I've been doing every meeting, I've been giving you guys an update on where we're at. Our understanding of where we're at with LT's side of the land negotiations and where they're at. President Nettermeyer and I attended their last board meeting, as we've been attending all of them. During that meeting, they held discussion again. They took no action. So they're continuing to discuss the next steps that they could possibly take, whether that be entering into a land use study of their own, possibly getting the property appraised at current value or at a potential value for a change in use, and things along that. So the board seems a little torn on what their next steps are going to be. I think the superintendent is tasked with obtaining some additional information, maybe some price quotes, things along those lines, before they proceed. So they're going to be discussing it again at their next meeting, which we'll continue to attend until there's action taken, so that we are kept in the loop there. And actually tonight, the superintendent and the business manager from LT are here in the audience. Do you guys, I think I gave an okay summary. Is there anything you guys want to add or change, or please feel free?
I think you got there.
Okay, thank you. So we'll continue to keep the board updated on any progress made on that side of things. And then also, just as a reminder for everybody, at our next meeting, which is the 28th of this month, I will not be in attendance. Trustee R will not be in attendance as well. We're both going to be at a working group meeting for Pleasantdale Elementary. They put a group together of different community members to review the possibility of an early childhood development center. And so the first kind of kickoff meeting for that is unfortunately conflicting with our board meeting, so I will be in attendance there. But I'll report back on what takes place at the following meeting, which is October 12th. That is all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Administrator Bruce for that report. Village report for Charles.
I have no report this evening.
Okay, thank you. We'll go on to reports of officials. Village engineer.
Yes. One report on the CP. Our goal is complete. The restoration is completed. There is a well on the property. The contractor is from the county permit next week.
Thank you for that update. Village attorney.
No report. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move into reports of standing committees. Finance and Administration Committee is first. I'll take the warrants this evening. Approval of warrants dated August 31st, 2023 is the first item. I have a motion to approve those warrants. Payroll and fund expenditures in the amount of $555,324.40. We have the motion by trustee Micah,
I'll second.
second by trustee Kennedy. Question or discussion on the warrant? Having none, roll call please.
Trustee Kennedy.
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Ash.
Aye.
Moon, Car.
All ayes, motion carries, and those warrants are approved. The next set of warrants is dated September 14, 2023. May I have a motion to approve those warrants? Payroll and fund expenditures in the amount of $221,199.20. Thank you, trustee Micah, for the motion. Second by trustee Posh. Discussion or questions on these warrants? Hearing none, let's do a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah.
Aye.
Ash,
Aye.
Moon, Car.
All ayes, those warrants are approved as well. We'll move into public safety. Trustee Kennedy?
Kenny's gone, you know, congratulate him, but anyway, I'm gonna turn it over to Chief McCarthy. He's got.
Yeah, first I want to move it all my guys. Me here. So good news, bad news. Bad news first, the Safety Act, no cash bail goes on Monday. That's the bad news. Worst news is it's very complicated as an argument. This is what we see regarding it. Good news is it's going to have a minimal impact on anything. Fortunately, we have not had the issue of dealing with second of all, no shortage of personnel. We're continuing to bring in part-time officers. Which ones we want. More interviews continuing next week. The other good news is the fact that despite the fact struggling personnel, we're still up almost 10% in the citations issued. So last year they were up, this year it's still coming up. And it's testament to those people who love me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We could go on the streets. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Kennedy, do you have any more for the report?
No, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, then, thank you both very much. We'll move into municipal buildings and grounds. Committee, Trustee Micah?
Thank you, Madam President. I would just like to report tomorrow is our last concert in the park. 5 Guys Named More are playing tomorrow at 7 o'clock at Lions Park. So love to have everybody out there to come out and enjoy it. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Micah, for that report, and hope it was a good time and well attended. Public Works Committee, Trustee Bosch?
Thank you, Madam President. I just have one item tonight that Keith is sending 2 employees next week to a seminar and demonstration on ice control, for liquid ice control. That will help us get a better handle on our liquid brine program. Or it's literally going to be forced to use water liquid in our salt, so we want to get better handle on it. I hope you can use it.
Thanks, Trustee Bosch. License and Franchise Committee, Trustee Moon?
Okay, we have, we talked about it last meeting, but we do have a new owner of the line, cafe, and still on the building as well. And we will continue project tab. Both this will continue to operate as the now as it is. No new signs that we purchased, no new homes, and I think 5 other restaurants and bars, and with one of those things.
Yeah, thank you, Trustee, for your work on that and your report, and as Trustee Moon indicated, in just a minute, here we'll get into that under action items. So I see that Mr. Taft here, thank you for being here, and we will take action on that in just a minute. For now, I will move over to Building and Zoning Committee, Trustee Carpenter, report, please.
The mother law that we have to get a more pertinent. Here. Total construction cost $755,044. Permit fees of $15,462. For the first 8 months of the year 2023, we had to get a 200 permit issue with a value of $5,930,840, resulting in permit fees of $155,982.71. The only other thing I have to speak about is demolition, and we'll go over this.
Very good. Thanks, Trustee Park. Now we will move into action items, as that completes the reports of our committees. First action item, as trustee Moon has indicated. Consideration of a business license for Bonnie's IBC doing business as Illinois Billiard Club located at 8442 Archer Avenue. It isn't a business owner license, but a familiar establishment in Willow Spring. Mr. Taft is here. Thank you for being here. Would you like to step forward and say any words about your business, or maybe just field questions if there are any? Whatever.
Hi, I'm Bob Taft, Robert Taft. Real excited to be a part of it. Really here, I appreciate that. Quick update what we're doing, places, there are many examples. We're gonna, since they say, the one thing we're gonna spruce up a little bit is the plum, which was the Bonnie's Cafe, so we can be a little more consistent hours. It'll be a place for quick sandwiches, stop in for a little bit, grab a soda or beer or whatever. So we do banquets, we keep the room the same. I'm actually a billiard, this myself personally. So we keep the private club feel, we'll still run out the private party. But overall, it won't change. It's up to the building, but we run on, there's issues with the building, repair.
Thank you. I guess with that, I will ask for the motion to approve the business license, and then we can do any discussion. May I have a motion first? Okay, we have the motion by trustee Cross, a second by trustee Moon. Now, is there any discussion or questions on the business license?
The memorandum that. What else? Has that been satisfied?
Yeah, so that was just clarifying that we needed to make sure that the DBA. is aware of that. So we had it here on the agenda. We use, like, billiard club.
Well, no, it's gonna be and billiard club.
The bottom one.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you. Yes, the bottom line here. So DBA was clarified as Bonnie's Cafe and Illinois Billiard. Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Let me just clarify that you've applied for the DBA and been approved
Yeah.
already, correct? So there'll be no additional changes. Thank you.
So your corporate name will be Bonnie's IBC Incorporated, doing business as Bonnie's Cafe and Illinois Billiard Club. Yeah.
Additional questions from the board? Okay, hearing none, then let's take a vote, please.
trustee Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Tosh,
Aye.
Moon,
Aye.
Carl.
All ayes and yes. Thank you. We have the next item, which is
Liquor.
approval, or consideration for the liquor license. For the establishment in Bonnie's IBC Inc. doing business as.
Yeah.
Hold on, I put it away on you. It's my fault.
Bonnie's Cafe.
Bonnie's
There it
Cafe and Illinois Billiard Club. Located at 8442 Archer Avenue. So now, as a background on this, this is the same class as the former establishment, the RV class. I reviewed the application and in order, I recommend approval. May I have a motion?
We'll make that.
By trustee Tosh, the second by trustee Moon. Discussion or questions on the motion? Okay, roll call vote.
Trustee Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Tosh,
Aye.
Moon, Carl.
All ayes and yes. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well,
Okay, next action. Water. For Lions. So the IGA is in our board pack and is an agreement for a commercial waterway for our village staff and water usage at Lions. It would be adjusted upward for the IGA as applicable at the same rate as the Chicago. The agreement in our board pack is signed by the commission, so we are seeking now, approval to. May I have the motion?
So move.
By trustee
Second.
Kennedy, second by trustee Micah. Discussion or questions about the IGA?
Is the flash pad separately metered?
I think, yes. I think
It
it's
is, yes, it
flashing
is.
and it's separate.
Yeah, there's a meter inside that little building there.
Additional questions? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Tosh,
I,
Moon, Car.
All ayes and that agreement. Next up, we have authorization to purchase the 2024 Chevy Blazer and Advantage Chevrolet in Bolingbrook. I'm sorry, Chevrolet of Bolingbrook, located on 115 Bolingbrook, Illinois, in the amount of $40,588. Recall recently at a previous meeting, I was on the reserve of Carter, and that was part of our purchase of this vehicle would effectively be replacing that vehicle in our police department. It's suggested as an SUV because it has four-wheel drive. Also indication as well as no inventory is low, so this has presented itself as our best option and value bid at the time for the police department to replace that Charger. We have the details of that in our board back, and so with that, back to the motion to approve.
Make that motion.
Trustee Kennedy, we have the second, Trustee Megan, and vote discussion or questions about the purchase. Okay, roll call vote.
Trustee Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Tosh,
I,
Moon, Car.
All ayes, and that's approved. Thank you. So now is our final action item, which we've heard a presentation on this evening. Consideration of Caldwell Levine Professional Planning Services proposal as we've heard from special counsel in his presentation, the recommendations with Caldwell Levine for planning services related to a temporary moratorium approved by this board earlier this year. The scope of work as indicated in the proposal. Will review and study the subject properly and prepare a report and recommendations, and also incorporate any public hearings or open houses, open forums as needed. We know that the cost of the engagement is $7,500. And so with that, is there a motion to approve it?
Make that motion.
We have a motion by trustee Micah, second by trustee Fox. Discussion or questions about this action? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Tosh,
I,
Moon, Car.
All ayes, and that is approved. And then we will continue to keep people updated as the process unfolds and what our findings are. And what our choices. So thank you very much. Next up is old business. Any old business? Any new business? Okay, public comment?
Carol Valdez.
So I don't know if you just want me to tell you the couple of things and then discuss them, or. Well, the first thing is the townhomes over by us, the alley. That construction thing is a hot mess. I see what goes on there, it is a hot mess. And what I'm concerned about is I know the alley is supposed to be really wide. And I think the drip coming down the river, I don't think it's that wide. I see the garbage truck trying to make that turn to go in there, and I think it'd be really hard time. Between the house being so close, the porta potty being right there, they're having a really hard time making that. Sometimes they can't even make it, they have to back up and go around to the other. But anyway, so I would like to go out and measure it to see what size that alley is right now, and what size it's. I was just wondering how many minutes were rented down here at the old Book.
I don't have the number.
They're over 80% at this point was the last update we received from them, and we're actually working to give them occupancy within the next few days on their final
Is that
condo
all
building.
rentals now? First, then the purchase.
No, it's a rental community.
All rentals. So is that whole thing, that whole project gonna be all rentals now?
Yes, and that was, and that was what was planned for, and discussed in open meeting.
Yeah, 'cause I didn't know if it was gonna be part or what.
It's all rented.
Yeah, I don't know about what you guys live, but down where we live over here, you know, we have a lot of air. And I know them on time, I would say 15, 20 years ago, that there was a company that came in that they trapped for business. And I didn't know if that was something that maybe the village would be willing to put a cost in towards that. Maybe I could find a little information about that. Because for us to do it ourselves, you know, it's just way too much.
Find out what information you can, and we can talk about it.
Because these little cats are having kids.
Yeah, if you have information you'd like to share with me on that, I'd be happy to reach out, because I know there's several not-for-profits that do that.
Yeah, open to talking about that, sure.
And then till one is still expiring at the end of this year, right? Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that out. Go, please, go check that property and look how it goes. Here's the one over here. Right, on favor? Bad.
Anyone else signed up for public comments?
No, that's it.
Don't forget, on into your mics. Mayor, you're doing an awesome job.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. We generally don't have a need for executive session, tonight is no exception, so there is no executive session tonight. Right into president's report. As trustee Micah has mentioned, we have a concert in the park, at Lions Park on Friday. And then we have the Lioness Pancake Breakfast on Sunday at the community center. Please come out and enjoy, those events if you can this weekend. Finally, I had the opportunity to meet with some of our younger residents, third graders at Pleasant, came to visit last week. And they came because they would like to put the proceeds from their lemonade stand. And then secondly, I learned that we have preschool who took the proceeds from her lemonade stand and purchased. So I mentioned these things only because we might hear more, maybe we can have some of them for being here in the future, but wanted to have it ask kindness from our young residents and whether we should be proud of those. All right, our next board meeting is in 2 weeks. Until then, everybody be well. With that, I will ask for a motion to adjourn this meeting. Ernie, you have made that motion. Is there a second?
Yes, sure.
Thank you, trustee Posh, for the second discussion. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? This meeting is adjourned at 7:43. Thank you.